Hi guys, this is the Golden Girl MD and you're welcome to yet another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about all things Plab 2, the cost of the exam, what the exam entails, results, academies, and all that good stuff. So if you're interested in hearing more, please stick and stay. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And if you haven't already, I don't know what you're waiting for. Please click that subscribe button down below and let's get into the video. So the Plab 2 exam is the practical aspect of the UK licensing exams. You've passed your Plab 1, so you will be invited on your GMC account to register and book a Plab 2 date. Now the Plab 2 exam mainly tests your ability to apply the knowledge that you have as a medical doctor and the knowledge that you've demonstrated in your Plab 1 in scenarios, various scenarios. The majority of these scenarios will be consultation stations where an actor will be playing the role of a patient and you will be asked to assess them, take relevant history, do relevant investigations, and formulate appropriate management. You have an examiner in that station and they will just listen to you. Other stations include mannequin stations. The big one is the Simman station, where you have a life-sized mannequin which can communicate and which has a monitor attached with ECG, readings, observations, things like that. You have a trolley where you have your masks, you have all your medications, all your equipment, and you'll be asked to assess this patient, perform relevant examinations, investigations, bedside investigations of course, and then talk about your appropriate management for this patient. Other mannequin stations involve things like urethral catheterization, digital rectal examination. Other stations include taking blood for things like full blood count, liver function tests, etc., putting cannulas in patients, doing cervical smear, etc. Another station that you might encounter, or you would likely almost always encounter, is the prescription station, where you have a room with a camera. Of course, all the exam stations have cameras, so let me just put that out there. But then there will be no examiner in this room. You just have your table, you have your prescription forms, and you have your question, which will be a patient who has a particular condition and you are being asked to prescribe a particular medication, and there are regular medications on the prescription form. You have the BNF there, and so you will be required actually to look in the BNF and make sure that you are aware of drug-drug interactions, things like that, allergies, etc. You take that into consideration and you fill the prescription form. Other scenarios or other stations you will encounter will be video and telephone consultations, Breaking Bad news, and things like that. So that is mainly the gist of the Plab 2 exam. If you want me to go into more detail, I'll have to do another video for that, because that will help me to be able to break down all the different stations and what is entailed and what the examiners are looking for. And so if you want me to do that, just comment down below and I will make plans to do that in the future. But that's the little summary about what the Plab 2 exam involves. The Plab 2 exam costs £934. And so once you book online, you'll be expected to make the full payment, and then that secures your slot for Plab 2. Plab 2 can only be taken in the UK and is taken in Manchester at one of two locations, either 3 Hardman Square or 3 Hardman Street. These two locations are within walking distance from each other, and you'll be allocated one or the other at random. So how often is a Plab 2 exam taken? The Plab 2 exam is taken throughout the year. In fact, almost every month there are dates for taking the Plab 2 exam, and so it's not as difficult to get as a Plab 1 exam, but it's still quite challenging, and so you have to make sure that you book your slot early enough to ensure that you get the month and the dates that you would prefer. Use the day I wrote my Plab 2 to give you a gist, or to give you an idea of what you might be able to expect on that day. So you get to your venue and you'll be met downstairs by someone who is going to check your booking confirmation, which is what was emailed to you after you booked your Plab 2. So you print it out, and you also send your passport, because that's what you use for verification of your identity. And so you'll be checked, and then you'll be asked to go upstairs or up the lift to the actual floor where the exam is going to be. When you get there, the reception, they're going to give you with my GMC number, my name, and a number. That number is going to tell you which station you are starting from. Okay, so once it's time for the exam, now let me say this before I talk about when the exam starts. So before the exam, you'll be spoken to by one of the members of the GMC, one of the top members of the GMC, who's going to give you like a speech. So we're giving like a short speech about the exam and what it entails, and just encouraging us, asking us to relax and the like. And then you'll be given an option to reschedule the exam if you are not well, or if there's anything that is going to affect your performance on that day. On that day, I was very sick. I honestly considered taking this option, but I didn't, and by the grace of God, I passed the exam. But that is a story for another day. Maybe I'll do a story time in the future about this. But anyway, so you'll be giving that option. And so if you know there's something that will prevent you from performing your best, whether due to an illness or whatever it may be, you have to let them know, and they will see how best they can reschedule it for you. But the moment you go and you start the exam, wherever you reach, whatever you've done, even if you have to stop midway, that attempt is taken into consideration, and it is counted as an attempt, and you'll be scored accordingly. So once the exam is ready to start, you'll be escorted to your various stations. So we all stood in front of various doors based on our numbers, and then you'll be given a minute and a half to read the question, which is usually outside the door. And then once the bell goes, you'll be instructed to go inside, and then you start your exam. Throughout the exam, you move from room to room, be going around, and then you have 2 stations which are rest stations. So once you get to that station, you have water, you have biscuits, you have a drink, like things that you can use to just snack on, drink water, rest, encourage yourself. If certain stations didn't go well, that's the time to encourage yourself and to tell yourself, hey, I've got this. Don't think about the station that didn't go well. Think about the stations that could go well, so that you can make the best out of it. So that's the gist of how the exam day goes. So if you want me to do a video about the Plab 2 exam, detailing what is involved, how the exam is assessed, the different scenarios and the things that the examiners will expect of you in those scenarios, and how those scenarios look like specifically, please comment down below, because if I talk about it in this video, it's going to make this video extremely long. This video is mainly to give you an overview of the Plab 2 exam and the basic things you need to know about them. But then if you want me to do a more detailed video about the Plab 2 exam day, stations, etc. itself, please do comment down below, and I'll make plans to do that in the future. Okay, Plab 2 results. You've taken your exam. Some stations went well, some stations may not have gone as well as you expected. The main thing is to just realize that it's in the past, it's gone, forget about it, and just believe God and pray that you pass the exam. You need to pass 10 stations most of the time, so 10 out of the 16 stations at least. And the score varies. The score depends on how people in that cohort or on that day did. Okay, so just like Plab 1, the scores vary, but as a general rule of thumb, you should aim to pass at least 10 stations out of the 16 stations. Sometimes a particular station may be removed because of 1 or 2 things. It may have been a pilot station where they were trying out that station, or it might have been a station that they realized that a lot of people didn't perform well, or there was a mistake, or there was a problem, or the question something, so they can take out that station entirely, in which case you'll be scored out of 15 stations, and in that case you need only 9 stations to pass. Okay, so what I always say is that you never know what the pass mark will be, so aim to get the highest you can get out of every station, and know that even if you get 12 over 12 in 8 stations, once you haven't got up to 10 stations, you will still fail the exam. They will still fail you on that regard. So the rule of thumb is to just try and prepare as well as you can. Try to be familiar with all the different types of scenarios that come in Plab 2, so that you can at least pass every station, you know, at least get more than half the marks in every station. I'll talk more about this in the detailed video about Plab 2. So you finish your exam. How long does it take for results to come out? It takes about a month. Sometimes there may be a delay, but if there's going to be a delay, you'll be emailed and informed. But it takes about a month for you to get your results. Now, let me backtrack a bit. During Plab 2, considering the fact that a lot of people would have traveled from other countries to come to the UK, you would have to factor in accommodation. So most people try to look for accommodation within Manchester. So Airbnb is a good place to look at because those are usually quite cheaper than hotels. If you have money, why not hotels? But family and friends is also another big thing. If you have friends and family in Manchester or close to Manchester, that's also a very good option because that's going to save you a lot of money. Another thing is academies. Okay, and I'm actually recording a video this evening about different Plab 2 academies and, you know, the experiences from different academies, so that you can make a decision on which academy you want to use, having, you know, all the information that you need from these people who have gone through the academies. Most people choose to go for academies because it helps you to consolidate the things that you may have learned. And also most academies organize mock exams, multiple mock exams, actually 2 to 3 for most academies, where you are able to be in that simulated exam setting, and that really helps to boost a lot of people's confidence with regards to the Plab 2, as opposed to just studying on your own at home and practicing with friends. Okay, the other thing about the academies is the fact that, of course, it's going to come at an extra cost. Academies cost somewhere from £400 to £650 depending on the academy. They have certain academies which are just like online and which are like WhatsApp, Facebook. There are lots of those out there where they have like WhatsApp calls and video calls, and then they do the practice and there's a coach and everything, which may cost significantly less. But the big academies range between £400 to £650 for the academy, which involves, like I said, the mocks, the resources, the lectures, and some of them also give you access to mannequins and their facilities to practice for the exam. So these are things you have to take into consideration as well with regards to Plab 2. Some of the popular academies out there are Samson's Academies, Aurora Academy, Common Stations, Key Points Academy, Dr. Swami, Moshobi. There are so many of them out there, and there are some I know I haven't even mentioned, but these are the popular ones out there. You can check them out online. Just Google these names and just look at their prices, look at what they're offering, and this should help you decide as well. Like I said, I'm recording a video this evening about Plab 2 academies and the various academies that we've attended and experiences that we got from them, and so that will be a very good video to look out for and to watch to help you to determine which academy that you want to attend. All right guys, so that's it about the Plab 2. That's just a summary, that's just an overview. I'm going to be doing another video about the costs of taking Plab 2, especially if you're coming from overseas. And so look out for that video. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and share. And of course, if you haven't already, I don't know what you are waiting for. I don't know. Please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.